Hey folks, it's me again with another video. The big drunk video. Nah, not really. Not really. How y'all doing? Thanks so much for support on my latest solo album, which is playing in the background because I'm not going to sue myself. Yeah, really appreciate it. Yeah, it's been now probably maybe almost a month since I've done a vinyl update. And I was going through Stack and, well, I have such a problem. This isn't even everything, you know, but you can only collect what you can find, right? All right, let's get started. Here's a 7-inch. Here's Drag City reissue of Death's debut 7-inch. North Street, backed with We're Gonna Make It. I think actually, I'm not sure that this ever came out at the time. North Street was recorded in 1979. This is not the Florida death metal band. This is the black rock band. Anyway, I found this up in East Nashville at this store, The Groove. I never ever go to. Yeah, I have all those Drag City reissues of this band. Really interesting, really great documentary, a band called Death. I think you can find it on YouTube, Netflix. Yeah. 7 inches with picture sleeves. I'm a sucker. Alright, so vinyl records. As usual, I'm going to start with new records. And I think everyone in the VC, everyone watching this, needs to get this while it's still around. This is Jeff Parker's The New Breed. On this label I'd never heard of, but they've released a handful of things apparently. Anyway, International Anthem out of Chicago. Jeff Parker, of course, guitarist with Tortoise. If you like the jazzier side of Tortoise, if you like Tortoise period, you need to have this record. It's, you know, you can't see this, but it has a nice obi there, and so Jeff Parker not only plays guitar on this, but there's some sampling and some analog and digital keyboards and a little bit of vocals. This is, it's the big drunk video. I don't know what to say. This has roots in that 70s vibe that everybody loves, but it's now, it's today. You know, it's not the 70s anymore. This is excellent. Highly recommend. Probably going to be a fairly incoherent video. You know, I meant to do this before I got started. Here, I'm going to turn this down some more. I want to give a shout out to the Dr. Rhythm channel. And everyone watching me now needs to go subscribe to that channel and go watch all of their old videos. John and Mark are old school VC. They've been doing this for a long time, and they only do it once a month, you know, and you know, sometimes that's all I can do, but like clockwork, two friends, they get together. I don't understand if John, do they coordinate this, or does John just bring over whatever he wants to listen to, and somehow they draw these connections, playing tracks off these records, and then they make these wonderful videos where they talk about what they played. And it's usually late at night after this has all happened, and I'm not going to call it a big drunk video, but they've had a very pleasant evening together, and they make these wonderful videos where they talk about what they played. And they play CDs, they play vinyl, they play incredibly hip, cool, rare stuff. They play really common things that might surprise you And John, I know, has a history in interesting music things in London. And anyway, I thought of you guys immediately, and Andreas Sonic Mainliner the morning that I heard about the whole Brexit thing. And I shy away from politics here, but I immediately thought of you guys. Particularly Andreas, who's Greek, Anyway, personally, I think it's wonderful that we live in this interconnected world. And if you don't think it's wonderful, then too bad, because that's the way it is. Alright, how's that for a big drunk video? Alright, let's see if I post this. Anyway, I'm going to leave a link to Dr. Rhythm's channel, and you all need to probably turn me off and go check them out. Alright. Cheers, guys. Alright, here's some records. John Cage with Sun Ra. The complete concert, June 8th, 1986, on Coney Island, New York. I've had a needle drop bootleg CD of the original Meltdown thing of this, and there's a hype sticker which I saved that says, the ultimate avant-garde, collaboration ever. Well, it's not that. So yeah, in 1986, some promoter decided to set up a tent with John Cage and Sun Ra. And they kind of alternate. Sun Ra does his thing. Marshall Allen plays a wind synth thing, and there's a duet on here with June Tyson. And some wonderful solo electronic keyboard Sun Ra stuff. And what's interesting, since this is the big drunk video, what's interesting to me is that I'm reading the liner notes, and it says he's playing a DX7. The dreaded DX7. That horrible bell-like electric piano sound that ruined the 80s, forever. But it does not sound anything like that. It's like, and in fact, I'd been reading about how the DX7 is a very powerful synthesizer, but it was so difficult to program that everyone just played those same old presets. Well, anyway, Sun Ra is doing amazing things with the DX7 on here. John Cage is doing these sort of declamations, And there's 5 minutes where they kind of are doing things together, but together. And there's lots and lots and lots of silences. This is the complete thing. And actually, this pressing via Sundays sounds pretty good. What's the label here? Modern Harmonic. But Sundays did this. Anyway, it is not the most mind-blowing thing ever. It's not what you would hope that John Cage and Sun Ra would do. But then again, if you know that about John Cage's attitude towards jazz, it's kind of amazing he ever did this to begin with. An interesting artifact, and holy crap, I'm babbling. If you folks hang in with me, you are heroes. Alright, here's Sonic Youth, the Spinhead Sessions, 1986. Came out a few weeks ago or whatever on their Goofin label. These are, I guess, demos, or basically they're jam demos for the soundtrack they did for Made in USA. And if you like Sonic Youth at their most dreamy instrumental circa 1986, this is great. I think better than the Made in USA soundtrack, honestly. Here's a reissue of a reissue of a reissue. Wolves in the Throne Room. Their debut album, what's it called? Diadem of 12 Stars. I guess this just came out on, I'm not even sure what label. American black metal, I guess. I think maybe the originals were on Southern Lord, or I could be wrong. Originals I think were like super rare, but this is a new reissue of their debut album, and again I thought of Andreas Sonic Mainliner, who knows so much about metal and black metal in particular. Hey man, if you're watching, this is excellent. And I don't know shit about black metal versus this, that, or the other kind of metal, except that black metal usually sounds crappy, you know, and this does not sound crappy. This is recorded at Electrical Audio in Chicago. It sounds excellent. This is I've listened to it a few times. It's perfection. If you're into black metal, what does that mean? Shrieking, I guess, the double bass drum thing. I don't know. This killer. I may not know anything, but that's awesome. Found this in the bins at a store in East Nashville, a place I never ever go to. Boris, attention please. Didn't have it on vinyl. This is pretty different from Boris's usual thing. It's more of like a shoegaze indie pop thing, where she's taking the lead. I love it, frankly. I love everything Boris does. At that same store, I bothered to drive up there because, one, I don't know, my wife is out of town, and what else am I going to do? And on Wednesdays, they have a 15% off used thing. So I found this used. And this is, of course, a reissue of Annette Peacock's I'm the One. The Future Days numbered reissue. Apparently this has been repressed recently, but I don't know. 15% off. I couldn't resist the numbered reissue. You would think the original was on RCA from 1972, I think. You would think major label like that, it would be, you would see it around. You don't. This is a really cool record with like Paul Bley, I think, was her current husband, and lots of jazz guys, but also weird electronics and weird electronic manipulation of her voice. Really way ahead of her time. I couldn't resist for 15% off. Same thing with this. What a terrible cover. Philip Catherine, I don't know how to pronounce him. French guitarist, September Man. German Atlantic pressing from 1975. I'm sorry, that cover's terrible. Back cover's more promising. But I knew about him from, he played with Miles Davis around this time in the 70s. And there's some interesting players here. Pele Mickelborg on piano, and Charlie Mariano on saxophones and flutes. Yeah, German Atlantic, really nice shape. And it's a terrific record, don't be fooled by the cover. Kind of all over the place, which I kind of expect from European fusion stuff. And I guess he wound up playing with Focus later on in their career. Band that is hit or miss for me. This is a terrific record, really. Was quite pleased. Still hanging with me? Have a drink. I don't use the word grail much. But if the word grail means anything for a record collector, it means something you've been looking for a really, really, really long time. Now, the problem with grails is that sometimes they're tarnished. And but actually it turned out way better than I even expected it. But if the definition of a grail is something I've been looking for really since I've been collecting records, it'd be this: Frank Zappa's Lumpy Gravy. Original US pressing on Verve. Yeah, that cover's not great. Yeah, one of my locals for July 4th, they were having a 20% off sale. Thought I'd go check it out. And, their prices are pretty fair, actually. And so it was already fairly priced. And I'm like, what's going on with this? And they'll always have this check condition, which can mean this thing is completely trashed, or it can mean, well, we don't bother to clean them, and so this doesn't look that great. So I'm like, well, it's this record I've been looking for forever, and I look at the first side, it looks perfect. Second side has a big, nasty looking scratch. You rub your fingernail on it and you can feel it. And it's like, this is going to sound. But I thought, for a fair price, minus 20%, I might as well plug a hole in my collection. Well, damn. Again, a record cleaning machine pays for itself, folks. This cleaned up great. First side played absolutely perfect. Second side, okay, I'm looking at that scratch and I'm just waiting for it to get there. I'm standing over the turntable, waiting to just grab, lift the needle as soon as it starts skipping and making. And it was just like, a little. And it's during the stupid talking stuff that I don't care about. I was amazed. I was amazed. I mean, there's something to be said about these 60s records that are they're bulletproof. I'm so happy to fill this hole in my collection. I may never listen to it again because I have a love-hate relationship with Frank Zappa, frankly. But I didn't have it. I had to have it. And isn't it sad what's going on with his legacy and the heirs? It happens every time. Alright. Also found this for 20% off. Cheap. John Renbourn, The Nine Maidens. A UK pressing on Transatlantic from 1985. So this is later, John Renbourn. But God, what gorgeous! I love that UK folk stuff. This is a beautiful, all instrumental, mostly just solo guitar, but also some percussion and penny whistle or whatever. Fantastic. I love it. That was a bard. And this, Alan Stivell, Journey à la Maison, on Rounder from 1981. So a U.S. pressing of I guess there would be a French version. Keltia. I've shown some Alan Stivell records before. They're wonderful. They're cheap and they're beautiful. He's Breton. I can't speak authoritatively about where this music comes from, but it's gorgeous and I love it. Also found this in the dollar bin, well, 99-cent bin, and so 20% off of 99 cents. So this was what, 79 cents, 80 cents. Mark Isham, Vapor Drawings on Windham Hill from 1983. 80 cents. Very beautiful. Cleaned up mint. I saw Mark Isham play in Joni Mitchell's band when she opened for Bob Dylan back in 1997, 98, something like that. Don't have any of his other records. Trumpet player, kind of like John Hassel, maybe. Yeah, beautiful. 80 cents. All day long. Okay, here's kind of a cool find. Maybe not everyone's cup of tea. Moby Grape's first album. Original 2-eye mono. An original cover where it looks like he's giving you the finger. No poster, but really nice shape. I've been looking for this because I have the other couple Moby Grape records, and San Francisco Psychedelia, Skip Spence, his songs make this. I am super happy to have this. Alright, here's something I found at that store that you never know what you're going to find. Up on the wall, here's Opeth Deliverance. And the price was such that I thought, well, it's the same music on vinyl version I have. But I pulled it off the wall and it's like, no, this is an original 2002 US pressing on Koch, Music for Nations. It was filthy, but I cleaned it up. It plays mint. I can't say it sounds any different from the music on vinyl version, and in fact the jacket's a little bit chintzier. I'm not sure I'm going to keep this, but the price was so good because it was so filthy, and you never ever see Opeth. I never see Opeth records in the wild. As big an Opeth fan as I am, I couldn't leave it, and I might flip it, I might keep it just because I'm such a fan, but look. Here's a couple things I found at Grimey's. A few things I found at Grimey's. Someone's been dumping their collection there, like recent vinyl. And here's a band I know David Sequoia Flame loves. Hey man, if you're watching, I don't know, but found a couple Acid Mother's Temple records. Here's Recurring Dream and Apocalypse of Darkness on Important from like 2007 or something, a while ago. 2 LPs. Crazy guitar freak out. And this is, I think, from 2008. Here's Lord of the Underground, Vishnu and the Magic Elixir, like a flesh-colored vinyl. More space rock. I mean, this stuff is awesome. I get why David Sequoia Flame loves this stuff, but I don't know where to go next. I mean, their discography is fucking enormous. I don't even think David Sequoia Flame has all their stuff. But anyway, I found these used at Grimey, so they were cheap. least I've got to start. This video's going long, but I'm almost done. Also found this at Grimey's, Sealed. And I wanted to get this for Record Store Day in 2014 because I love this record. But I never saw it. Willie Nelson, Teatro. On Modern Classics, which is a Light in the Attic label. So the Record Store release on like gold vinyl. I love Willie. Who doesn't love Willie? And plus, Danielle Lanois produced this, and Emmylou Harris is all over this, and lots of people, Neil Young, and some great, just has a great vibe. Now, the original release was an HD CD. If you have a CD player that will play HD CD, decode HD CD, that was really it sounds great. Too bad Microsoft bought it and destroyed it. But so anyway, this just doesn't sound anything like the HD CD, and it sounds great. But like a lot of Light in the Attic stuff, I gotta say the pressing is not what I call audiophile. But I'm super happy to have it. Again, finding it at Grimey's. It's cheap. All right, almost done here. Material Temporary Music compilation on French celluloid label from 81, I think. Now, I had a bunch of these 12 inches. This is a compilation of 12 inches of early Material stuff, which is Bill Laswell and Michael Beinhorn and some other people. I was way into this stuff back then. And stupidly, I sold all those original 12 inches. God, I'm an idiot! So anyway, I found this French celluloid compilation. And this sounds great. And this track, Reduction. Already Bill Laswell has his wah-wah envelope followed super decadent bass sound happening, and you know, in 1981, 82, this stuff sounded really forward-thinking, and it still does, I think. You know, maybe winds up sounding dated, but such is life. What goes around comes around, it seems to me. All right, I'm going to finish up with Van Man. You know, these 80s Van Morrison records are not easy to find anymore. And this is one I've been looking for a while, because this is another record that reminds me and Liz of our early courtship. And no guru, no method, no teacher, from 1986. I might just stop here because, you know, records are cool, but it's the music that matters. And when I put this on after getting it, well, let's just say it was a nice time for this. On that note, I'm going to leave you all to the rest of insanity that seems to be engulfing. Oh dear, my mouse has given up the ghost. There we go. Alright. There you go. That's the Big Drunk video. Cheers, everyone. I'll see you soon. I'll be going to the record store tomorrow. Bye-bye.